Thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
It's always a pleasure, man. It's so amazing to see the work that you do because not a lot of people put effort into finding out about all these kinds of bands that would otherwise go unnoticed. And this is amazing. This is an amazing labor that you do.
It's a labor of love. I truly want to get the word out on bands and let people know that great music is happening everywhere.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely. And you take that to heart everywhere. You listen to Spanish music, American music, all over the world.
And you're pulling double duty. I wanted to ask you how this band became a reality.
Well, because of my actual physical location, which is in Warsaw, in Poland, it was simple to start looking for something. But at the same time, heavy metal gets you sometimes discouraged because it's a lot of work, and then it's mostly it's not appreciated to the extent that you would like to. It
Sure.
needs to be appreciated. So it took a little hiatus, maybe a year and a half. But then I saw this, I'm in a lot of musician groups, and there was this person saying, "Hey, we want a singer for this." I was like, "Okay, I might try it." And then they sent me some of the stuff, and it was just the riffs. And I was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah, like I need to be a part of this, whatever it takes." So I wanted because that's like my preferred style of music. So I went in, we played a couple of songs, and I sent him my stuff as well, and it was like this thing coming together, which in the end proved to be amazing. At least I believe so.
Yes, absolutely. It's great cover to cover. When I first heard it, I was just like my jaw dropped.
That's awesome to hear, man.
I wanted to talk about my favorite track on the album, which is Mad Dance. Could you
Yep.
speak on that track?
This is almost I dabble between this is my favorite one, then Reborn, then On My Own, but it keeps moving. But this one is so fun because like the guitar player and the main like the leader of the band, the composer, it's Marek Herka, and he presented me with all this stuff. And like I told you, the riffs were like there's so many ideas here. He presented me with a lot of the lyrics, a lot of the melodies. So this I would say this is his baby. He's been working on this for years and years and years, and he just didn't have a chance to get like the right musicians. So when he gave me Mad Dance, he gave me the demo. I heard it and I was like, this needs some Rob Halford, Guns N' Roses, high pitch stuff. Like, like, this is rock and
Mhm.
roll, even if it sounds a bit thrashier at parts. So for me, it was like, let's go for some very nasal, very high things. And it was all fun and games in my mind. And then going to the studio and now singing it live was like, oh my God, yeah, this is a hard song, but it's one of the best ones. Great lyrics, a great music, and I think the vocals ended up being quite nice, quite fitting too.
And it's amazing that we both think on the same wavelength. The second song I wanted to ask you about was Reborn, my friends.
Yeah, see, it's because it's one of these riffs, man. It's like when
Yeah.
I heard it, it was this is Pantera, and I love Pantera. Like it was this. You gotta shake your head to it, and at that point, and the verse as well was very different. Very like more of like a rhythmical stuff than melody. So I enjoyed it a lot, and the changes and everything, and it gave me a chance to also explore this. This might be the fact that I'm growing older, and that my voice is not as high pitched as it was when I was 20. So
Sure.
now I'm going like, hey, you gotta go like adapt to this. And I was like, okay, let me see if I can bring some of what I heard in Testament, from what I hear in Slayer and Pantera
Sure.
to this. And I think it went amazing because the riffs were asking for it, so I couldn't be just like, yeah, let me go Halloween on this because I was gonna ruin it, right? So in the end, I think amazing job. Then again, like the drums, this our drummer is from Dominican Republic. He has this groove. It's amazing. It's like a natural groove that is the kind of groove that I heard when I heard Pantera. It was like these
Yeah.
guys are so groovy. So for me, it's amazing how everything came together. This is one of the songs that I think Fusion sets the best, and definitely a favorite for me and for the rest of the band as well.
Sure. And I think it's something that we all think about is what would Pantera sound like today?
Yes. Yes, that's a question that haunts me way too often because I saw them live last year, and I mean, Zach Wild is amazing, right? But at the same time, you're kind of like, yes, but where would it have gone? Where would it be
Sure.
now? You know, same with a lot of stuff. So it's amazing, but it's so great that this legacy that they left lives through all of us fans that just want to be a little bit more like Phil, a little bit more like Dimebag, a little
Sure.
bit more like Gideon Rex.
And I wanted to ask you, as far as pulling double duty, is it hard for you to dedicate separate time for each individual thing you do? You know, like working now within two bands, is it hard to put it all together for you?
It comes to a point that the internet has made it so simple. I mean, as you can attest, you are able to interview loads of bands, which would have been crazy 20 years ago. Be like,
Sure.
no, impossible. So right now, what I pull double duty, and then I have my own project, and then I sing for a lot of people, you know, like if they contact me, and then we get going. Like I'm working on a couple of albums for other people that are great as well. So the bigger issue is just at one point how tired you get of the singing heavy metal is tiring, of course, you know,
Sure.
it's a challenge all the time. And at one point, I can hear this ringing in my ear, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to take a couple of days because I hear my own vocals, you know, like they're like, shut
Hmm.
up, man. The people that listen to it must be saying, stop yelling a little bit. So see, I understand a little bit what they go through. But you know, when what I realized is like I think my voice is better now than when I was 20. Like, smarter, it's better driven and everything. But at the same time, I understand it's gonna change. And what I set myself out to is like record as much as you can because it's gonna come to a point that you're not gonna be able to do this. So
Sure.
just do it. And if you love metal, I mean, what are you doing something else? So yeah, it's as many duties as need to be pulled. Yeah, let's go for them.
And as far as before you do a track, or go live, are there any routines that you go through to warm yourself up?
Well, first of all, a lot of water. You try to stay away from all like milk, cheese, all this stuff that just creates a blockage. And then again, like this comes with, I mean, wisdom comes with age. Leave the alcohol as far away as you can from your system for like at least. I mean, I don't drink as I used to, but even for the remaining, let's say the last 7 days before a show, it's better to leave it like that. And for the studio, it's just like this. It's not OCD because I don't think it goes to a point that it impacts the recording, but it's always like record many takes, you know? And then
Mhm.
when you get home, it's like, okay, so this was better, this was better. So I'm not a first take kind of guy because the first take for me is like, okay, so I understand the song now. But the first take was nothing for me. You know, it
Sure.
was like, let's see. For the fourth, maybe fifth take, I'm in. So I think it's more like I tend to do some warm-ups with completely different music than metal because if I go with a metal mindset, I end up restricting myself too much sometimes. And like we say, like the other band, the Aldebaran, sounds very different from this. And if I go
Sure.
with that mindset, you know, so in the end, it's weird because I'm pulling these warm-ups with Mexican music and people are like using metal. Oh yes, but it's difficult to warm up with the Trooper, you know?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I wanted to talk to you about the album artwork because the album artwork is kick ass. I love the cover.
it's a good one, huh? It's
Yes.
a good one. It's Marek and has had this concept in the first song. Actually, in the video lyric, we dabbled with it as well, of a serpent representing multiple things. You know, like I enjoyed the fact that when I think the lyrics are not ambiguous at all, but kind of cryptic. I enjoyed that. You know, it's not like in your face, like think this, we think that. So I like that. And he has this line where he goes, the serpent cloaked in purple and pride. And I was like, okay, it sounds cool, but I don't quite get it. Maybe me not being like a big Christian follower, then he explained to me, oh, because they were purple, you know, the people
Mhm.
that And like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like this
Yeah,
was great. So then he explained to me the snake, the rising from the dark idea, the black and white idea, which I enjoyed in the end because I think it gets the job done, like it calls to your attention. And then it's like, if you really want to know what's happening, press play. Like the
right.
album cover is just gonna be like, yeah, this is it, but go for it. And I
Sure.
think it does the job.
And I wanted to ask you, because of the logistics, is touring out of the question for this band?
For this band, no, because everyone is in Warsaw. Actually, we are playing in a couple of weeks. We're doing a gig like 2 hours from here, from Warsaw. And then next year we have something lined up. So I think this is gonna be going all over Poland, and hopefully we're gonna extend it to Germany, Slovakia, like even like the closest countries.
Sure.
But of course, me being Mexican, Michael being Dominican, and Marek and Tomek. Tomek is the bass player. He's Polish as well. So I mean, we're just gonna move. If I can take them to Mexico and further than Cancun, I'm gonna show them the real Mexico. They're gonna be like scared and at the same time playing. So I hope we can tour a lot. We're starting in 2 weeks. We are very excited, like doing final rehearsals and stuff. We just had one and it sounded amazing, I think. I
That's
enjoyed it.
great. That's great. And how was the feeling when you were all together in the room? Does it feel very that you talked about how it went well? Does it feel very cohesive?
For sure. It's this idea. It gets to a point that seasoned musicians, even if not seasoned to the point that you would say, no, I tour with Testament or Slayer, like seasoned, normal seasoned, not
Sure.
superstars, comes into a room with a song and they have it ready to go. And it's more about assembling it. Assembling it, sorry, than rehearsing it. So it was amazing the fact that these different cultures, these international project just comes to a room and say, yeah, I heard the song, I'm putting it here, and then you play and it's like, wow, it's it was electric for sure. Everyone in there, it's I'm an amazing musician, and I mean, definitely something that I think people are gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna be easy because we enjoy it, so it's easy to get people to enjoy it as well.
And will there be a live video released?
I hope so. I hope so. We have a few ideas because well, as you know, nowadays the music for me is still number one, but you need to be very active on social media or you're gone. So yeah, it's not like it
Sure.
used to be. So I guess we are gonna be shooting some stuff because it's also interesting. All the trickery that can happen in the studio, and we didn't do that much. Which, by the way, I think this is one of the strongest points of the album. He was mixed and mastered by Wojciech Wiesławski, who has worked with Behemoth and Vader and Decapitated, and I think that made it the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I think it's the best mm, use of my vocals that I've ever received. And I send a lot, and like poor Wojtek must be like, Jesus, this is too many. You just sing one, and I'm just kind of like, oh, so this is voice number seven. And you can. I grew up on Freddie Mercury, so it was like, oh, I need at least 79 tracks. Like I'm gonna
Right.
go overboard. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But this guy made amazing use of everything. Everything is great. I think that classic Polish metal sound went through it, and it's amazing. But it wasn't a lot of trickery. It's great how it sounds live as well. So there definitely something in the future to see that we can actually play that we were not just using computers.
Sure. And the amazing thing about back in that day of Freddie Mercury is that was all done on analog tape. That just had to
Yes.
be such a grueling process.
Of course, and you had to be like extremely talented because if you mess it up, there's no magic trick to fix it. Just do it again, or
Sure.
if you can't do it, then don't try it. Yeah.
Sure, an analog tape is, as you know, is not a cheap thing to come by.
Yep. And it's amazing. Like even now that technology has shown us these are the original isolated vocals of some singers, and I'm like, how did you ever like Bruce Dickinson singing those big screams in Number of the Beast? It's like, no,
Sure.
you're out of this world, man. It's incredible.
And I wanted to ask you as well, what's the best way to get a hold of the album and any merchandise that you have?
I think this is coming soon. As a lot of bands, our idea was to get the music out, but right
Hmm.
now we're focusing on like let's play the show, let's get some albums, some merch, and hopefully to put it all over the world. Starting in Poland, of course, which has a great fan base. I am surprised. I go to a lot of concerts here in Poland, and they always devote themselves, of course, to big numbers, but it's still crazy. So I think we have to we have to get a lot of merch going on and albums. So I think by the start of the year we're gonna be seeing something of next year, of course, seeing something cool.
Yeah, it's a great album from top to bottom, and it's definitely one I want to grab myself because it's one I enjoyed throughout. And I think the thing that gets me more involved is, man, this is the first effort. I can't wait to see what the second one sounds like.
Yeah, I like this mindset. See, this is the reason why I know I felt connected right away to the kind of interview that you do, because it's not this interview where you get the same question that you have gotten so many times before, and it's like it's not that the interviewer doesn't care, but it's like I don't think you felt or you wanted to feel as much as you let yourself. Like it's more of like a the copy and paste thing, and this just feels like okay, this guy listened to the album and he liked it or he didn't. It's okay, but he has an actual opinion, which is great, you know.
Yeah, and I think the thing I notice too with a lot of people that do what I do is they tend to listen to whatever singles there are and go, well, that's the songs I'm going to talk about. And they really don't know the whole album. And
True.
I think it's an advantage that I'm 60 now and I grew up in an era where there are LPs. You listen to one side, then the other side. You didn't have playlists. And that's the way I enjoy the experience. I don't like per se listening to playlists unless I'm doing something around the house or something and not putting my total attention to it. But when I want to listen, I want to hear the whole thing.
For sure. And it shows because, I have this idea as well. If the band put out an album and says, this is track number one and this is track number eight, listen to it in the order that they thought about it, because not because you have to, but because it's a whole package. It's like if
Sure,
somebody gives you a burger, you don't go like, put the bread away and put it in the middle. Like you would ruin the burger, right? So
sure,
I agree with you. I mean, uh, for me, I grew up in that changing at times, like where internet started to be a thing, but I was born with enough time to understand that, well, from what I think is the best way, track one to track 10, and listen to it and listen a lot of times to it, because the singles are definitely, especially nowadays, not a good idea of, yeah, this is the band. Like
sure,
probably not, like if somebody wants to get radio airplay, you're not gonna hear their best stuff if it's watered down for play,
sure, exactly. And a lot of times when I review albums, I omit the singles because I
Oh,
think that gives you the bread and butter of what the band is really about.
that
A
is
lot of
true.
singles are released maybe because of time restriction or maybe just because of the catchiness of the chorus or what have you. But sometimes the band is sacrificing to create that single. And so you don't really get the essence of the band.
I completely agree. It's like, yeah. It's you have to have in a menu, you have to have like the burger again, but
Yes,
it's gonna be a simpler thing, and it doesn't mean it's bad at all. But I think I understand what you mean. It's like there's a lot of stuff that's gonna be cut for it to fit both time and in a style that could be played. Because let's face it, like I don't think anybody that is not a metal radio is gonna be like, yes, play Not in Thy Name, the song about the serpent where he screams like uh for 7 minutes. Like, no,
sure.
nobody's gonna want to hear that if you're not a metal head. So yeah, and I agree, and I think this is what separates this and what makes it so interesting to talk to you, because it's obvious that you're a fan of music, of metal, but it's also obvious that you pay a lot of attention. And for anybody that creates anything, I think that's the biggest gift. That somebody paid attention to your stuff is like amazing. You didn't have to, and you did, so it feels great.
And, and getting back to what we said, like Iron Maiden, Run the Hills is a great track. But if you was to ask me what the song I'd throw on first, I put on Children of the Damned.
Yeah, great
You
song.
know, so it just goes to show you that, the single is not a true representation. Those are two totally different styles of track. But I think
Completely.
as far as Iron Maiden is concerned, Children of the Damned more represents the band.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. The whole idea, the vocals, and yeah, exactly. And that's a great example because a lot of people would just, I don't know, like I went to watch Guns N' Roses a couple of months ago, and they did this amazing set list. I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan, so for me it was they played Bad Obsession, they played Madagascar, like cool stuff all over.
Mhm.
And I saw a lot of people, and I understand because they are very big mainstream band. They were like, why are they playing this instead of the songs that we know? It's like because it's a whole thing, it's very
Sure.
representative of him. It was amazing, so the same. I mean, the singles are amazing, of course, but some of the hard-hitting songs, you have to like go deep, deep, deep into the
Yeah,
discography to find.
absolutely. And and lastly, my friend, I wanted to ask you if you could give a message to your fans, what would that message be?
That message is that we are very, very happy. We are, first of all, very thankful that you're finding our album amongst these thousands and thousands of music. And if we caught your attention for any moment, we thank you for that. And just keep up with us because we're going to be releasing a lot. We're going to be doing a lot. And because we're just normal. I mean, not half bad guys, not the best, but we're okay. So
Well, I
that's
want to
gonna
take a moment to thank you, my friend, for sharing this album with me because I'm so happy I came across it because it is great top to bottom, and the thrill is going to be looking forward to what comes next because I feel this band is only going to get tighter and do greater things.
Thank you very much. I love this. This is gonna be the motto from here on. So I agree with you, and we're not gonna stop. We're just gonna continue until everyone says stop, and then we'll still continue because that's who we are.
Well, I wanted to thank you again for taking time to speak with me. It's always a pleasure speaking with you.
It's the same, Bob. Thank you very much, and thank you for everything, and for listening to the album, and for helping us put the word out there.
My pleasure. And you have a great rest of your day, my friend.
You too, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, cheers.
All right, see ya. Thank you.
I should have this up.